Hanna from Dazzling Books. Today I've just finished my exam week, guys. And I thought, what a good idea to be embarrassing myself by telling you all of the truth about my obsession for Twilight years ago. I'm doing the Twilight tag today, and I'm pretty sure my friends are gonna watch this. This tag had been around YouTube, I don't know how many million YouTube trends ago, but it had been popular back then. But I saw Tasha, Kat, and Christine doing this tag again, so I thought, I want to do it too, and here I am! Wah! Just looking at the questions, I'm already imagining all of these nostalgic moments that I had with Twilight. So without further ado, let's just start. Question number 1, what movie or book is your favorite? Unlike any of those people that read the book first before actually raving and obsessing over the movies, I watched the movies first and then I got into the books, but I didn't get fully into the books because I was so late. So I can't say much about the books, but I can say a lot about the movies. And my favorite movie would be the first Twilight movie. Twilight. I watched it and I loved it. Just Edward, the soundtrack, the color grade. It was everything to me, guys. Question number 2. What has your experience been with Twilight? It has been crazy, ridiculous, stupid, and awesome, and memorable, and unforgettable. I hate and also love talking about my memories with Twilight. I went to see the eclipse on my birthday, so I asked a lot of friends to come with me. And you know what? They all loved it. They all fell to this Twilight world along with me, but I was the hardcore one. Like, they loved Twilight, but I was obsessed with Twilight. So when we were at school, keep in mind that my friends and I were 13 years old. We went to school together and assigned ourselves to be one of the Twilight characters. I was Bella because my name has Bella, and my best friend was Alice. Yeah, we're it, friend. You're Alice, I'm Bella, this is cool. And I spent the next probably like almost 3 years of my junior high school obsessing over Twilight. Like, I got a poster of Twilight in my locker at school. It's a Christian school. And my mother was so surprised when I asked her I wanted to buy Breaking Dawn. But my mom was like, it's about vampire. Why would you want to buy a vampire book? I was like, I want to know. And she bought me and I read it. And I'm forever glad that she never asked me what's it about. Because imagine 14-year-old me saying,
about a vampire finally getting married to a human and they had honeymoon, but then the female human got pregnant in their honeymoon and the baby was growing so fast it almost killed her and a lot of things happened, but they end up happy.
Question number 3. What is your favorite character? My favorite character would be Alice and Edward. Alice is awesome. Alice is fashionable, she is petite, but she embraces it. She has vision. I don't know, she had always been the family that I would probably want to be connected with or like want to have a relation with. Okay, question number 4. Team Edward or Team Jacob? This was such a huge thing back then. I don't know about you guys, but it was so clear from the start Bella was going to choose Edward. Team Edward. You should know that I loved Edward very much. Like, the first time I knew fangirling, it was definitely from Twilight. I did fangirling before I knew what fangirling was. That is because of Robert Pattinson. He just had this hella good hair and he was tall and he was romantic And he reads books, he can play piano, the list could go on and on and on and on. I'm Team Edward. Moving on, question number 5. Your favorite Cullen other than Edward? I like Alice. Probably if I have to choose another one, that would be Bella Cullen. So other than Edward, I like Vampire Bella. The first one, that was great. Question number 6 is your favorite soundtrack. Okay, let's start movie per movie. For Twilight, I freaking love Muse, Supermassive Black Hole. I had that in my phone. I played it when I needed energy. Like the scene with the thunder and with the baseball game. Man, for 14-year-old me, it was so good. Then there was the prom scene. And then Flightless Bird came. I still have goosebumps listening to that song because that song for me is beautiful. I loved it. It's a Twilight classic, as Christine said in her video. Move on to New Moon. I loved that song in the scene where Bella was near the window and then the camera rolls around and the time was moving and then there was this haunting song. What is that called? This impossibility. It was so sad. Did I cry? I probably did. Moving on to Eclipse, I don't remember having a favorite from Eclipse, so let's leave it at that. And then in Breaking Dawn, we all know this popular song for weddings and for everything, 1,000 Years. Question number 7. How often do you watch Twilight movie? I have a lot of answers for this because back then I would watch it about 3 times in a week. And then 2 years after that, possibly, I would watch it about once a month. And now I watch it about once every 6 months. I don't watch it very often, but I still watch it. I'm happy because of that. So I'm not ashamed of watching Twilight in 2015, people. Number 8, would you rather be a vampire or would you rather be a werewolf? I don't really want to be either of them because vampires, they're immortal, but they're either be hunted or hunting something. Or werewolf, transforming usually shreds the clothes and then when you transform back, you're naked. I would probably be a vampire instead of werewolf. Question number 9 is probably related to the older one. The question is, if you are a vampire, what vampire power would you want to have? This is not exactly like a vampire power, like a special power, but every vampire have this ability to see well in the dark. And I would want that because you know what? Last night it rained in my city. It rained so hard, the lightning was crazy and I had to experience a blackout. And I still had to study for my exam and I had no emergency lamp. So that ability of vampire to see in the dark, well, would be nice. Now, speaking more of a Twilighty special power, I would probably want to be a little more like Carlisle. Did I speak that name right? I never got his name right, it's weird. To have immortality means I will have a lot of chances and a lot of years to be helping other people. So instead of hunting people down, I help people. Not so bad being a vampire after all. Question number 10. The most embarrassing thing you did because of Twilight. I changed my Facebook name to Cullen because I was a dedicated Edward fan because I loved him. I changed my name to Cullen. Bella Cullen. My first name is actually Hanna, but I kind of chalked that off my Facebook name and add Cullen to be my last name. And edited a lot of Twilight pictures that I cannot give you any proof of. Sadly, because 1, I deleted my Facebook account. 2, I deleted also the pictures, because in that Facebook account I had not only my friends but like my family, my distant cousin, and my teacher. Very embarrassing. I also carry a picture of Edward and Bella of that Twilight post where their faces are close to each other. I don't want to recreate that in my file folder. So when I feel like I'm bored or something like that, I would just open this file folder and see it, and then I would write fanfictions out of Twilight. Yes, I used to write Twilight fanfictions at school. My friends knew it, they just didn't know that it was inspired by Twilight. I write a lot of werewolf fanfiction because of Twilight. I now have an expectation that my boyfriend should be tall and have good hair because of Edward. Not very high expectation, am I right? Number 11. A part that made you cry in the book or the movie. When Bella was left by Edward. Number 12 is not exactly a question, but it instructs me to name my favorite movies to the least favorite movies. The Twilight movies, of course. My top favorite movie would be Twilight, movie number 1, and then followed closely by Breaking Dawn Part 1 and Part 2, and then Eclipse, and then New Moon. I can explain this. Like for Twilight, every time I watch Twilight, it brings weird, wriggly, squishy feelings inside me, and so I like it. And then the Breaking Dawn was because how advanced the technology that they use in the movie, so that was nice, the action scenes and all. And then Eclipse was because that was the time when me and my girls were just like so obsessed with Twilight. And New Moon, I didn't like it because Bella was being annoying. So annoying. Edward too. Okay, I may sound like I'm so embarrassed by these questions and answers, but actually, no, I'm only embarrassed because of my Facebook account. But I was not embarrassed by any other things that I did for Twilight, because people experience the same thing, even crazier things and events and emotions for Twilight, and I can relate to that, and I am happy that I can relate to that. I'm happy that it got me into reading not teen literature, but like young adult. That is it. That's all I have for today. I would love to hear what you did in your Twilight crazed period. What did you do because of Twilight? I would like to know. I don't want to feel alone, you guys. I will link Tasha's video down there. I will also include the questions, so if you want to do it too, you can. If you were a Twihard, then we share something here, and I kind of like what we share. Thank you guys for watching. I will link some of my social media links down below, so if you want to say hi or if you want to talk or whatever, you can. And I will see you in my next video, so goodbye.